As you can see, we started 5 minutes late and we have a packed program today. Unfortunately, this is one of those sessions that we don't have guest speakers. We are all going to partake in the session. It's a skills-based session that necessitates that we all try out our level best. There's no right or wrong answer or the wrong or right way that you are doing it. You just give it a shot. So we will just be in the plenary like always and then do the role plays ourselves. People have prepared their role plays and then from there we go into our circles as usual and do the exercises as indicated in our guidebooks. Then as usual, we'll come back to our feedback, to give feedback in the plenary from our circles. And we will get to listen to the presentations that you had to prepare. And we are hoping to have a ball listening to those presentations. Then we will close the session. For the icebreaker and before we go to the icebreaker, I think the ground rules we already know, familiar with the rules to say if you're not speaking, please mute yourself, and then to save also on data, you can also put off your video. You can always put it on when you want to speak, and then we encourage that you also use the videos smaller circles because it's a smaller group and interactive, so it's much better when you're looking at each other there, so that we don't disturb. Because normally when the mic is on and then somebody comes in or talks, we can all hear. And for the icebreaker, we decided, I think after the national office organized the gender-based violence session, everybody was saying, you know, it's a discussion overdue. We are happy that it has also come to this platform of G4G. It's something that we need to continue talking about, we need to support. So we have asked the mentees to prepare some posters as a way of supporting the call for violence against women and children to stop. So I'm not sure how many of our mentees have prepared their posters. Those that have prepared, it will be nice if we can see them. If you have like handwritten them or maybe done them and printed, but I was made to understand that some have also done electronic copies of the posters, and we will be asking the mentors later to send them so that we can do a collage that we can send to national office to say, as UJ, we also want to give a voice to the call and strengthen it to say, this must stop. We can't be busy here empowering ourselves and our other sisters are out there dying. We all need to be here and not be taken away when it's not our time. So are there mentees that have prepared those posters? I have decided, I didn't do a poster, but I have worn my t-shirt. Can you see it?
Woohoo! Nice. Yes.
That says, my body, my choice, my country, my voice. Hashtag GBV.
Nice.
Wow.
Okay, do we have those that can show? Ngolo? Are you showing? Or you just switched on?
I'm not showing, no.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I can't see the other faces. Did mostly do electronic copies? Because some mentors reported that the mentees have been posting.
So maybe, Boypusa, if we have access to them, we can actually show them.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you have access to them, forward them to me, and then I will be able to show them on the screen, but maybe later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So for now, as Rita indicated, without wasting time, I think we need to move on so that we catch up. We are already late. We started late. Val, we can go back to the
Doing that?
to the slides.
Next one? Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to ask Karima to do a recap of session 2 for us.
Hi, ladies.
Hi, Karima.
So 2 weeks ago we met and we spoke about courageous leadership. We had that video from Professor Nancy, and we had the guest speaker, Dr. Tandeka, with us as well. Who can remember some of the key lessons we took out from the video with Dr. Nancy? Anyone? You can put stuff in the chat as well. No one? Remember, she spoke about finding your mission and finding your purpose. Does anyone remember that? Yes. Okay, and then she spoke about your information gathering years, which you guys are all in the prime of at the moment. Anyone remember that? Anyone want to add anything there?
Alice put her hand up.
Alice? You can unmute yourself, Alice.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so with the video, I remember taking away 3 lessons that she gave.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was finding your mission,
Mm-hmm.
and then navigating from point to point. And the second one was investing in your gathering years, where those are the years where you invest in yourself, in your growth, in your development. And then the last one was your village. So just connecting yourself with people who are in alignment with your vision, your mission, and where you want to go. So those are the lessons that we got from the video.
That's awesome. Thank you, Alice. I think for all of you, that's really the basis of the Girls for Girls program. And I think it was such an important session to have been in, one that you can go back to from time to time. I think even myself, it's always great to get that reminder of the lesson shared in that particular video. And then there was one more lesson there. Who remembers what it was? Also linked to what Dr. Tandeka spoke to us about. Anyone? So do you guys remember Dr. Tandeka was speaking about how despite everything that was against her, she still continued. And the thing that helped her to continue was keeping her eye on the bigger picture and knowing why she was doing what she was doing. Is there anyone that would like to share anything about the doctor's story?
Sorry, Karima. I'm going to shake things up. This is the art of communication. This is the session when we need to hear from the girls. So I'm actually going to ask you ladies, turn on your videos. I feel we need to have you in the room with us. So please put on your videos. Please engage with us. We go through a lot in order to, have these sessions. So please, there must be something, at least each of you remember from Dr. Tandeka. She came and spent time with us, okay? So let me please ask for a little bit more energy, and I won't say anything else.
Do you guys want to put stuff in the chat box? You're welcome to do so.
Does anyone remember who
Go
the
ahead.
courageous leader was?
What I took from Dr. Tandeka was that we must find our we must not lose focus. We must always believe in ourselves, and that at the end of the day, we are our number one cheerleader.
Beautiful. Anyone else? I can't see if anyone's hand is up, but
Who was her courageous leader? Who was from the doctor?
Alice had her hand up earlier.
go ahead, Alice.
I was just gonna say that she just spoke about prioritizing, and when her friends would go out and on weekends or whatever, she would have to sacrifice and prioritize her schoolwork because she knew the bigger picture. And she did say along the way she had to lose some people because they were not in line with her mission and her bigger picture. So that was another lesson that or point that she raised.
Thank you, Alice. Also building her village and creating her tribe of like-minded people. Thank you, Alice. Anyone else would like to share? I think Val was asking earlier if anyone remembers who was Dr. Tandeka's courageous leader. Alice, were you saying something?
Oh, I didn't realize I was on mute. She said it was her mother, if I remember correctly, because the mother was constantly there for her and constantly there for every other people in her community. So she regarded her mom as a courageous leader.
Yes, thank you, Alice. See, Mikenzo says it's important to adjust to what life throws at you. Having a baby at an early age was never part of her plans, but she carried on to pursue her dreams. I think that just speaks back to her having the bigger picture in mind and knowing her mission, knowing why she was doing it. Does anyone remember why she wanted to become a doctor? So remember she was saying when she was young, she lost her niece, I think, because her niece couldn't get medical care and she didn't want anyone else to go through that. And that's what kept her going and what kept her driven, even though, as she said, her friends wanted to go out, but she stuck to her goal and she knew that she needed to study to get there. So it just comes back to keeping your eye on the ball. Nikita says she wanted to give back to her community. Yes, absolutely. And we're hoping that's something you all want to do as well. Anyone else? Anything else from last week? From the last session?
They can put it on the chat box.
Yes, absolutely. If you ladies think of anything else, please do put it in the chat box. And I think we can carry on with today's lesson.
Thank you, Karima.
Thanks, ladies.
Ladies, remember, we are saying this is a build-up. So as your soul piece, this episode builds on the other one. If you didn't see 2 episodes, you won't understand the 4th one. So even our sessions are like that. You need to remember what we did in 1st session, in 2nd session, and now we are going to 3rd session because they build on each other and they give you a better perspective of what type of a leader do you really want to be. So we are going into the section of role plays, but before the role plays, we just need to explain the objective of this session. Like we said, it's art of communication, and it's a skill session. We don't have a guest speaker. We will be doing the talking and the role playing. It's a module. This module, it helps us to say, last time you did indicate what type of leaders you like and what type of qualities you see in them and in yourself. Now we are moving forward to say, what do you need to do to make sure that your message reach the people that you are communicating with? As a leader, you are expected to, at some stage, say something to the people. Is your message convincing? Are you able to persuade people when you talk? It's what you are saying clear. And those are the things that you need to think about as you are about to communicate with anyone, anywhere, be it at school, at home, at church. There is a purpose for one to communicate. You don't just open your mouth, even if it's going like, I'm a mother and I shout at my child. There's a reason why I did that. I just didn't wake up and say, I'm going to shout today. Something must have happened and I will decide how to do it. I hope you have watched the video by Professor Tim McCarthy from Harvard University, where he's giving us the concepts and the principles that we need to follow as we communicate. The first one, he indicated that you need to know your audience. You need to know who you are going to communicate with, do research. And the way you communicate to a young 3-year-old cannot be the same as communicating to a 16-year-old. So you need to do your prior research to make sure who are you going to communicate. So most of you are in their last year, so you will be going out looking for a job. So you need to make your research first and to say that how are you going to sell yourself? Because there are millions of people out there who are looking for a job. So you need to make sure that you up your game and know who you are going to be communicating with. You will share the same information, but you say differently based on the audience that you are going to be talking to. He talks something like map your audience. So who is this person? Why am I talking to this person? What message do I want to relay to this person? What am I expecting at the end of the day? What call do I want to make at the end of the day that I can leave this person with something to think about? So what can I say that will make me shine out of the 10 people that were there? Then once you know your audience, you also need to know the why behind your what. Like I said, you don't just shout. There should be a reason why you are shouting. So you need to know to say, what is it that you are passionate about and how you are going to relay that message to people. In other sessions that we have had with girls, they indicated, no, I would want to start a food feeding scheme because in my area, I see many children when they come back from school, they loiter around the streets, they are hungry, and there's not much that they get. So I would want to start something like that so that I can feed them. You don't just say, I'm going to start a food feeding scheme without understanding why you are doing it and trying to get the support that you will be doing it. So if you are saying, and you need to be genuine as you are doing that to make sure that people hear your message. It reaches their heads, it reaches their hearts, because you need to make an impact. And one way of also doing it is by telling your story. And I think it's something that from the beginning you have had to say, one of our ways of mentoring is through telling stories. And that's why we get guest speakers to come and talk to you and they share their stories. We have never had anyone quoting from the library books, giving you other people's stories. Everybody that we have called and we are still going to call will be narrating their life stories linked to the topic of the day. So you will be able to say, for the example that they gave there, that you want to start an orphanage and it's because you lost your parent. You will be telling them their story, your story, to say, this is the reason why I want to do it, because it impacts on me, it affects me and my community in this way. And your message must come through so that when they choose you, they will be saying, it's because you said this and this. Your emotions, the way you say it, your body language, what you said resonated with our mission, because every community or every organization, they also have mission and visions, and they have missions, objectives to achieve. So if what you are saying resonates with what they are doing, and that will make you the winner for the day. Or if you are sharing a message on a platform debating, that will make you a winner for the day. And at the end, he says, make a call to action. Always leave an audience with a key ask or a request or something to think about. When we were, Karima was asking, what did we learn? Nikita said it was an amazing session, last one. We want to know, what is it? What was the wow moment? What is it that tells you this was amazing about that message that you had from last week? So you need to be able to, it's something that you need to be conscious of, to say, before you go and say anything, even when you are coming for the wrong place, to be saying, do I know the people that I will be talking to? Do I know you the why behind your what? And how are you going to tell your story and make a call to action? And I think also Dr. Tandeka did make a call to action at the end of her presentation. The other things that are going to help you, the communication skills that she's suggesting, and I think I've also incorporated them as I was talking, is that whatever you are saying needs to be clear and you have to be persuasive. And he said, you cannot persuade everyone, but you need to try. So even if a person didn't hear you or felt, I was not persuaded, whatever you are saying, you have given it your all. You were genuine, and possibly the person will relook at it and say, but maybe I was too quick to judge. Let me just review this and see what else did I pick up. And it should be an inspiring story. So it's something that will have to touch people's hearts and say, I like what this girl's vision is, and I'm willing to support this person. If you're going to be asking a person to be your mentor, you should be able to clear to say what you want to be mentored on. You need to be persuasive, because sometimes people will be saying, I'm busy. But if you persuade them enough, they will give you some time to be able to mentor you. And you need to inspire them so that they can also share your story too. So I was inspired by this person. So these are our objectives and the principles that we will be working on the whole day today. And we are now going to be going into our role plays. And I'm going to ask the first person, the first role play that we are having for the day, to please prepare. It's the university roommate, Zainab. Zainab?
Hi, Boipuso. So the
Yes.
role play that we'll be carrying out is for the bursary application.
Okay. And then the mentees for the university, we will just have to pick from the room.
So if you'd like me to start with the interview, I have
Yes.
already received the application from my candidate.
Okay.
Okay, great. So I'd like to just maybe do a setting of the scenario. The interview that I'm going to be hosting, or rather, sorry, I forgot to say hi, ladies. I hope that you're all well. Just a bit of setting in terms of the role play. I'm going to be interviewing an applicant or many applicants for a scholarship for their studies. And in the interview, we'll set out the terms of what the scholarship entails, and I'll just give you some more background. So I've received a number of applications, and the person that is set to see me next is Katleho. Katleho? Okay, so I see Katleho's online, and we can all see on the video as well. Good afternoon, Katleho, and thank you so much for coming through and making the time to chat to me about your application for the bursary.
Thank you. How are you, Zainab?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good.
Is it possible for you to just increase your audio a little bit? Or maybe come closer to the device.
Am I audible right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's a bit soft. Can everyone else hear Katleho?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So we've received your application for the G4G scholarship, and we're really honored that you applied. I'm just going to give you a bit of background into the scholarship. We received over 1,000 applications to date, and you've been shortlisted as one of the top 5 or for one of the 5 bursaries, and we'd just like to get to know you a little bit. I've gone through your application and I've seen all the good work that you do, but I just wanted to have this discussion with you where you can just tell me a bit more about yourself. So if you don't mind to just introduce yourself and tell me a bit about where you're from, what are you doing at the moment, and a bit about your family.
Thank you for the question. My name is Katleho Komane. I'm originally from Mpumalanga, but I currently reside in Johannesburg. I am from a family of 7 with 4 siblings and my parents. And my father is a farmer and happens to be the only one working at home, making it very hard for him to be able to afford to pay my fees, of course, because he has to take care of everyone in the home. And I'm a very ambitious person and I'm very goal driven. Currently, I'm studying strategic communications at the University of Johannesburg. I'm doing my 2nd year. Talking about goals, I love business, and then owning one day is one of my long-term goals. But for now, the focus is on achieving my short-term goals, of which is getting my degree on record time. Hence, I applied for this scholarship.
Okay, thank you so much for answering that question. I just wanted to touch on some of the information that you gave me. You said that you're one of 7 siblings. Are any of your other siblings studying at the moment?
No, they're in high school, and then the other ones, they're in primary school.
Okay, and what are your hobbies and what are your interests outside of studying?
My hobbies, I read a lot, and sometimes I watch documentaries about women empowerment and movies. I love movies as well.
Okay, you said you're studying strategic communication and management, and it has lots of different courses within the syllabus. Maybe just tell us about some of the courses, and also how long and what is the study period that you would require funding for.
For now, I'll need the bursary to fund me for a year because I'll be doing my third year the following year. And with my course, it's very broad. It's very broad because I can get to be a digital marketer. I can get to do public relations, be a marketing manager. It's very broad, but I love the digital marketing part because I feel like it's more me, and with what's happening right now with the fourth IR, and then I feel like the industry is getting more digitalized. Therefore, I wanna do digital marketing.
Okay. What I also want to know from you is why should we consider you for this bursary? Like I said, we've received over 1,000 applications. You've been shortlisted for one of the 5 bursaries. What makes you stand out, and why should we consider you for this bursary?
I believe I'm a hard worker and my results speak for themselves as well, and I'm very goal focused. And also, I believe that my skills and my accomplishment have come together to get me where I am today. And also, I do understand that there are a lot of applicants who have applied for this bursary and they are deserving, but I also believe that my unique experiences are a good indicator of my future success, and receiving this bursary will bring opportunities for me and help me change my family situation.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions for me at this point in time about the bursary?
I do. I want to find out if the bursary will offer an internship program once I've graduated.
Okay, so part of the bursary, yes, we do offer a 12-month internship program or graduate program where you will go through the same process of being an applicant because there's a number of other applicants that we do consider. So it's going to be the same formal process, but because or if you are the recipient of our bursary, you would have, you'll stand a chance to have a first preference to be accepted onto the graduate program.
Thank you. Also, I want to find out, because I read about your alumni program, so I want to find out as to how do I qualify to be part of this course at the later stage.
Okay, so once you've completed your degree, you automatically qualify to become a part of our alumni program. And what will happen is you will register to become a member, and then you'll participate in the various activities and programs that are hosted by the alumni.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions from your side?
No.
Great. I think that we've covered everything. And I'd like to open up the floor for questions from the rest of the panel that has joined me. Is there any questions, observations, anything that you'd like to add and critique about the interview? And maybe when doing this, apply the principles that you've acquired or you learned from watching the video. I think, like Rita indicated earlier, we need active participation because otherwise we're not going to achieve as much as we can from this session.
Hello, Zainab.
Yes.
Hi. Sorry, my network is a bit wonky.
No problem. No, Nondomiso.
Yes.
Yes.
So what I noticed about Katlejo's interview is that she told her story about her father and the responsibilities that she had. She was very clear, and she knew exactly what she was here for. And she gave the impression that she was actually prepared for the interview and that it was very sincere. I could tell that this is her story. As mentioned before, it's by Mam Boyboot, so that it's not a story taken from another book. So it is as sincere as it comes. So, but one of the things that really stuck out for me is how well structured she was. I was following through with her points. She goes from her story and she goes on to tell us about the benefits that she would reap as a result of getting this bursary.
Yeah. I have to agree with you. She really nailed the concepts that come through from the video. Know your audience. She knew about the bursary. She knew we had an alumni program. Wanting to know more, asking those why questions. Also knowing what motivates and drives her. So she knew her subject matter. So I have to also commend Katlego for being so engaged. Any other questions or comments? Val?
I just want to say, Katlego, I loved your confidence. Wow, you were just so calm, and the way you portrayed yourself, the way you spoke was just so clear, and you definitely knew your audience. The way your questions were structured was so. You can see there had been so much preparation that had gone into your questions. So honestly, that was really superb. Very well done. Very, very well done.
Any other observations?
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, Kensani.
Yes, Kensani.
For me, what stood out for me the most was the fact that the objectives from the video that we learned about being clear, being persuasive, and being inspiring were evident in her speech. What really, really, inspired me was just how clear she was. The fact that she was confident and she was clear and she was persuasive in telling a story inspired me to be like her. Or if I find myself in a similar situation, I am inspired to act the way Katlego acted and do my research and things like that. So for inspiration, for me, it's 100%.
Maybe also something just to add is to say that throughout the interview, Katlego was very calm. And so she held her composure. She didn't start waffling, because that's something that, from observation, that's what happens generally. And there's nothing wrong, to be nervous. But I think just to take a few moments before going into any interview is very important, just to gather your thoughts and your ideas in order for you to keep that composure. So that's very important.
Okay.
Great, Boipuso, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Zainab. Can we give Zainab and Katlego a round of applause? Great work. Thank you very much. So we are going to move to, and I think I'm glad that you were able to identify those principles within the role play. We are going to our second role play, and this one is an unprepared one, because you always get unprepared circumstances. So I'm going to ask two volunteers, so from the mentees. And the scenario is that you are two university students, you share a room, and you have set your ground rules when it comes to how to conduct yourself in your room. Now, one mentee is a focused mentee student who, will stick to the ground rules and also wants to concentrate on her books and study. Then the second one, we have one who is destructive, doesn't stick to the ground rules, plays music, brings friends. And the other one has been, talking to her and saying, please, but then it has come to a stage where she's saying, enough, it's enough. We need to sit down and talk about this. So I'm going to ask Val, do we have time for one or two?
I think one at this stage, if you don't mind.
One at this stage, yeah. So then let's do this. The one is focused and then the other one is not focused. So you are going to say enough is enough, you snap and you confront the other one. So can I have a volunteer of the focused mentee?
Authentic diamonds. I can see you smiling there.
Anyone?
I think nominate Professor.
Alice? Okay, Alice has raised her hand. Then the mentee, you are playing the focused mentee. So can I get the distractive mentee? Guys, remember, this is our platform to practice. We said there's no right or wrong answer. At the end of the day, you are giving it a shot. Alwani, thank you very much. Okay. So in less than 2 minutes, the role play, were the instructions clear? Will you be able to continue? Alice noted, Alwali? Okay, all right. So let's give it a try. Alice, you can start. Then Alwani.
Okay, so am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm having a conversation with Alwani.
Yes.
Yes.
You're calling her
So
out of her
Alwani,
bed.
I would like to speak to you about the house, about the rules, about the house rules, if we're to say, that we set at the beginning of the year when we moved in together. And I feel that you are not complying to those house rules. And as a result, this is beginning to affect my studies. We agreed that we would be considerate of each other, because this is a space that we both share. It's neither yours, neither mine. It's ours, and we need to consider how one's actions will make the other feel. I feel that you are not understanding when I want to study. You constantly playing music loudly. It's not that I don't want you to play music, but you need to be considerate when you do so if I'm studying. You bring your friends over constantly. Again, it's not that I don't want you to bring your friends. It's about being considerate. If you see that I am studying and I need some quiet time, please do be considerate of it. And I feel like you're not good at that. And this is something that we spoke about at the beginning of the year. And this has began to affect me. I cannot study properly. And I do feel that your behavior is destructive to myself as well as to yourself. And it's making our living space a bit hostile and uncomfortable for me.
There we go again. Same story all the time. Ugh. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I'll go somewhere else. Just leave me alone. It's fine.
No, but that's not the problem, Aluan. It's not about you going somewhere else. It's about you being considerate of our space. You know, I'm not saying you should go away. I'm saying if you're in the space, let's consider each other. If you see that I am studying, maybe say, oh, I want to play music. Maybe let me use my earphones instead of playing the speaker on full blast.
But you're always studying. You are always studying. I don't even have time to breathe as well. I do that because you're always studying. Oh, I don't know what to say anymore. It's fine.
But then maybe communicate with me. Maybe say, I noticed that you're always studying. Sometimes I want to play music, and maybe ask me, oh, how's your timetable set up? Maybe if you're not studying at this time, maybe I can play music. Just, it's about communicating. It's not about just assuming that, oh no, she's always studying, so I can't play music or anything like that. You know, if you see that I'm always studying, maybe say, I know you're always studying, but sometimes I want to bring my friends over. You know, say stuff, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I understand. I'll have to voice it out at times. I know I'm more of quiet, or I don't actually voice out a lot of things. So I understand. Please forgive me.
I forgive you.
Okay, huggy.
Huggy.
Oh, that was wonderful. Any observations? Mentees, any observations?
Aluwani would like to say something, it seems.
Oh, okay, Aluwani.
Alice was very, very clear. She was very, very clear. And what I liked is that she came up with an action plan that, okay, since I I since I feel that she studies a lot, and I don't also have the time to actually what am I saying? Okay, but yeah, she came up with the solution. That's what I'm actually trying to say, which was very good, that she raised the problem and then came up with the solution as well.
Okay. Is that when you felt defeated and you gave in?
Yes. Yes.
She persuaded you. She got the point in, and there was no way you could say, you know what, I'm sticking to my guns and I'm not going to listen.
Yeah. Her making everything clear, it just defeated me, because I couldn't come up with any other argument but this and this, because she had already said everything that I was doing wrong, and yeah, I just had to just let it go.
Okay. And to the other ladies, what did it do to the relationship that they had?
Hello, may I speak?
Hello, Rabbit. Yes.
Yes. I like the fact that Alice emphasized the importance of communication between the two. And also, she wasn't attacking. She was very calm and very nice to her roommate. And the fact that she came with her, well, she came to her and explained, this is the problem. Can we please talk about it? And, you know, she wasn't mean at all. So that was nice.
Okay. All right.
Can
Any
I
of the mentors? Okay, Rita.
So I like the fact that she was unemotional. As women, we are always accused of being emotional. So I like how you could see she was breathing and thinking through what she wanted to say. So those are excellent. It's something to take home. She was persuasive because she explained the why behind the what. She remembered and she made an emotional connection with Aluwani by saying, we are students. And she reminded her, in a way, we're here to study. And that is why she probably convinced her, because she reminded of what commonality the two of them should have. So that for me was the persuasiveness, but she did it by showing the why behind the what. And then the solutions orientation. That shows a level of maturity. Instead of saying you're loud, you're noisy, you're always making, she was not accusatory. She said, okay, this is the problem. This is how we resolve it. So that calm approach is what will take you a long way. And it's very important we're able to unpack things this way, because a lot of times people say, oh, you don't communicate clearly. How are you not communicating clearly? Am I not being clear in my language? Am I not being persuasive? So I hope one of the big take homes is to demystify that big word communication. There are many different aspects to it. There's the oral communication, there's what you see, and there's also what you kind of feel emotionally with a person. So in these sessions, we're looking to appeal to people via their heads with the facts, but also via their hearts. And I think Alice did that beautifully. Thank you so much, Alice.
Okay. Val indicates that we still have some time. Can we have two more mentees where all hell break loose?
Can I say something?
Kensane?
Besides what the good work that Alice has done, I think it's also very important for us to note how real Aluwani was. She did not try to, in most cases when you confront somebody with a situation, with something wrong that they did, they usually just run away like Aluwani wanted to do, to say that I'm just going to go away, or they ignore you or anything like that. But what I liked was the fact that she was able to be real, and she was able to say out her emotions, show her attitude, and be herself. And that actually enabled Alice to see where the problem is and see where I can find the solution, instead of just ignoring the whole thing or just pretending like everything is fine when it's not fine.
Insani, can I ask you?
Thank you.
Do you think Aluwani did not walk away?
I think it's because of the way Alice was communicating to her. Yeah.
So that is really, so it's true. Aluwani did a brilliant job of acting it out. But one of the things that you point out, which is very true, is that when you have a combative situation, it's very easy to push the person away. So in that instant, you very quickly need to find a way of holding them back. And the first way of holding them back is to listen to them. What are they really complaining about here? So you kind of like, you tone it down, and instead of accusing them, you draw them in, which is what Alice did. She drew her in by explaining to her why there is an issue over here. So whereas Aluwani could have said, enough, I'm walking away. Alice, so it's a very important observation you've made, but Alice did something to hold Aluwani back. And that is what you've just okay.
And maybe just another observation. Aluwani might have come across as being hostile, like we said, standing her ground initially. But the respect shown from Alice's side, even though, Aluwani was getting a bit perturbed at a point, also maintains how people communicate. And also that respect is really important when you're having any discussions or if you're communicating with anyone.
Thank you, Zainab. Anybody wants to say something? Can we have just for 2 minutes to show what can go wrong?
At this point, even the mentors can join, right?
Yes. Yes. Any volunteers? We want to see the difference.
Even the mentors should not be shy. Come, guys. Let's have it, okay?
Mobile, okay.
Yeah.
Who will go with Mobile?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, Van.
Who would you like to be, though? You can be the calm one. I'm always the one who's not calm.
No, in this instance, there's no calm one. Mobile has had it. Okay. She has had enough.
All right.
It's a confrontation.
Okay.
Okay. Val, honestly, we need to talk about this. I've honestly just had enough with your friends, with the noise and everything that you bring around me. I'm trying to focus, I'm trying to study, and we're here to study, but you seem to forget. Please stop it. It's not helping us at all.
This is the first time I'm actually away from home, and it's my time to have my life now. I don't want to have to go out and live with my mother now, telling me what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. I want to have fun. I came to university to have fun.
Sorry, Val. Sorry. I can't take that excuse. We're all away from home. We all need to focus here. And I hear what you're saying, but really, I've had enough. Can we be considerate? Even if we're away from home, you wouldn't do this in front of your parents. So please don't do it to me. Please.
Why don't you go and study in another room? You've got friends who want to study. This is also my home. I also need time to be able to sit here and just relax if I want to relax.
Please go relax somewhere else. Go relax on campus, at the cafeteria, somewhere, but not right here, because I'm focusing and I need to study.
Whatever you say. Okay, whatever you say, I'm going to go. I think I'm just going to go and find another roommate. I've had enough. I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm happy with that. Thank you very much. You've saved me a lot of trouble.
So you're gone, Val, you're gone.
You said I must be difficult, so hey.
Yes. Okay, ladies, they are gone. You know, it's a lose-lose situation. What have you observed that is different from the other one?
Can I go?
Yes, Tulufelo.
So what I've observed is that none of them was trying to understand the other one. right? They just wanted to win the argument. They weren't trying to understand each other's intentions and maybe reach some sort of compromise. So it is like they all had the approach of my way or the highway, and it didn't serve both of them. So it was really pointless.
Yes, good observation, Tulufelo. Do you think any of them prepared for anything, Safura?
What I noticed is that instead of creating a path of communication, both of them put up barriers to communication. So nobody could get their point across because none of them were able to actually let that guard down and listen, understand, or even speak each other's language, you know? So I think there were more barriers than anything else.
Thank you.
I think, sorry, I think.
Yes, Nabil.
For me, especially when it comes to art of communication in a personal relationship, you know, it's easy when it's professional, you know, you have certain boundaries. But when you're in a personal relationship, whether it's your mom, your sister, it's very easy to become emotional, very easy to become, you know, uncompromising. But the thing is that when you're setting your boundaries with another person in a loving space or what have you, you also have to open up your mind to compromise with that person and be willing to not only talk but also understand. And that those often clash. And more so, the art of communication is more important in personal relationships when you're trying to set boundaries that are healthy for you and the other person.
Sorry,
Thank you, Nabila. Yes, Rita?
It's also important to watch out for the cues. So to be conscious that you're communicating and watch out for the cues. You can always tell when a person is getting angry. Now that should be a trigger for you to stop and listen. So even if it means just stop, pause, breathe, and really try and listen to that person. That's the most important step going forward, because the mouth is very quick. And once it has left, you cannot take it back. So it is always important. The moment someone says you're not listening, you know, there are those cues that people say, or when a person says, it means that they have just said to you, you're pushing me away. So at that point in time, stop, breathe, and just go into the listening mode. And that's the point at which you can change the conversation. So listening is always a critical thing in any communication.
Yes. And if you are as persuasive as Alice, or inspiring or clear as Alice was, she was able to tone down Alwani. But in this case, they were both emotional and no one wanted to listen to the other. And we are also saying it's not always that it's going to go your way or you're going to have calm people in your life. You are going to find, you know, people like Val who feel, I need my freedom. You are not going to be my mom. I left my mom at home and I want to do as I please. And it's for you to be the bigger person because it does matter how you respond and how you react. Any last words before we go to our circles?
Can I add, Wipuso?
Yes, Mashudu.
Something I recently learned is that every human being, when they are approached with information, their first point of response is survival, which is what you see in that conversation between the sketch that we had just now. So if you don't take someone through a journey of going from getting that person to actually want to survive, taking them through emotions, and then eventually trying to convince them or try and put in some form of logic, then you get lost in the whole translation or you get lost in the whole conversation, because naturally every human being responds for survival. And that's what you actually saw in that conversation.
Yes, that's so true. Any more? Val, how are we doing with time? I don't want to eat into the circle's time. Pardon? We are fine. Oh, okay. Okay, can you show the agenda slide?
That's fine.
Whilst Val is showing the agenda slide, does it make sense what the role plays that we have done? Are you able to link them to the topic of today without you having somebody else telling their story in a form of a guest speaker? Anyone, mentees? Can you see the link of the role plays to the topic of today? Okay, if there's no one, probably it's something mentors, you will have to take it up in your circles so that at the end we can see that we have achieved the objective of today. We will be going into circles, and as usual, you are going to reflect on the messages of the video and the role play. And the question that I've just asked is this one, linking the key concept of communication with what we have just seen. And you also need to make sure that you choose somebody who will give feedback. And the feedback, we are just going to limit it to 1 or 2 minutes because we also have to do the presentations. And mentors, don't forget to remind them of the homework for the next session. So we will get our groups now, our circles, and then also the time. Make sure that at least when you are left with 5 minutes, you have discussed as much as possible the role plays and the videos, and you are just left with the homework.
Let's have some feedback from the sessions. And does anyone want to volunteer, or should we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Let's go 1. Group number 1, please. Who's going to speak for group number 1? Go, Nikita.
Hello, everyone. Whew. I'm a bit nervous, but here goes nothing. So in our circles, we first spoke about public speaking, the challenges and fears we have. Just to name a few, being shy, being nervous, and fear of stumbling on your words and not saying what you prepared in your speech. And then the second thing we did was we internalized the video that we had to watch and the role play. And some of the things that we learned was that we must be confident, we must know our story, and that we must focus on our passion, feed it so that when we talk about it, we are confident and we know what we're saying. And then we spoke about steps on how to communicate well. And then also one of our mentors shared her story and how she overcame her fear of speaking in front of people. And then thirdly, we practiced our speeches, which made it a little better. And yeah, the mentors encouraged us and hyped us up. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita. Very well spoken. Brave for going first. Group number 2. Who's group number 2?
Hi.
Go,
Hi.
Judy.
Yeah, from our small cycles, we shared our different experiences with public speaking. And from there, Mem Joyce shared hers also, how she overcame being nervous, how she became confident, and all of those. And I really learned a lot. I really learned a lot from what I used to see public speaking as, and that it's not like everyone can see that I'm nervous, but then, yeah, it's in my mind. It's just that little voice in me. Yeah, and we also we were able to recall what we have learned from the main session, and then also some inspiring stories. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Priti. Group number 3. Authentic Diamonds. Let's go.
Okay, hi guys. I think Val and Nabila broke the ice first by asking us what scares us the most about public speaking. And most of us shared that it's not that we are scared, it's sometimes it's because we are less prepared, and others just said that like nerves overcome them, and we went into detail with that. And so other people also shared their passions, and one of our mentees or mentors, can't remember, said that she's passionate about educating people about the LGBTQI plus community. Said that most people are usually judgmental when it comes to that community, and it's just high time we educate people about it and make people understand and stop being judgmental and having stigmas around it, basically. And someone also spoke about educating women about knowing their worth, and just females in general valuing themselves more, and probably the world would become a better place because we would stand up for what we believe in, and we wouldn't tolerate the unfair treatment we usually get from society. And we also spoke about recycling. Someone said they're passionate about recycling in the communities, and like maybe putting up recycling bins in churches or community halls, and that would combat the problem or minimize it. And I think in closing, we concluded that when it comes to communication, you sometimes need to choose who's worth your energy and time, because not everyone is always willing to learn or unlearn certain things. Some people are just ignorant by nature, and that's just who they are. So as a person, you need to choose who's worth arguing with, or who's worth persuading. And we also concluded that at the end of the day, communication, like in terms of communication, you're not going to persuade everyone. So some people still won't be persuaded probably by what you say, but just keep that conviction. And yeah, I'm done.
Thank you, Nicole. Group number 4.
Okay, hello everyone.
Hello.
I'm from the Unlimited Power Crawl group. Okay, in our group we discussed our fears in terms of public speaking. How some of us are shy in terms of speaking in public, and being too hard on yourself in terms of being a perfectionist. And we also talked about how to overcome those fears. We also talked about the objectives of speaking in public, which is you need to be clear, you need to be persuasive, and you need to be inspiring. We also talked about a little bit about the video that we were supposed to watch, which highlighted you need to know your audience, because if you know your audience, it becomes simple for you to interact with them and really get that connection with your audience, like be able to project yourself and make your point be heard. We also talked about our speeches. I loved how our speeches range from what we love from within, what really pushes us as individuals, our why in our what. So they ranges from one of us said being the best version of yourself. That was her speech. The other one was like leadership, why she loves leadership. The other one was learning to walk again, learning to run again, as well as overcoming fear. What is fear? Fear is an acronym for false evidence false evidence appearing real. So that's all we talked about.
Lovely, Nicole. Thank you so much. That's beautiful. All right, group number 5.
Okay, so in group 5, we firstly spoke about barriers when it comes to public speaking, and we mentioned stage fright and anxiety, and we also mentioned the difference when it comes to now being in a digital virtual as opposed to stage fright on a real platform when we're seeing each other. And then one of the mentors mentioned that it is the power of the mind, that translates into what you feel. So you need to plant positivity in your mind, and that's how you can tackle these barriers that you may have with public speaking. And then another mentee spoke about, it's not necessarily presenting that's an issue. Sometimes it's the fear of the unknown, or what questions that you may be asked after presenting. So that's also another barrier. And then another mentee spoke about including unnecessary details. So that was also a barrier. And then also comparing oneself to other people, that you may see someone else spoke better, and sometimes you may think maybe I could do that. That was another barrier. And then also challenges when it comes to communication in personal relationships. So the family or mother, father, the mentee mentioned that sometimes she gets too emotional in an argument like that. And then we also had our own exercise or role play where we spoke about caution, and that was just to put into practice communication, the art of communication. And then lastly, we mentioned how we can improve communication. And firstly, we mentioned speaking to people the way we want to be spoken to. So addressing people how you want to be addressed. And then we also mentioned you need to recognizing your own mistakes and apologizing. And then one of the mentees mentioned a mantra to speak to yourself, to calm yourself down, which is calm, confident, and capable. And then we also mentioned being able to breathe and giving yourself a pep talk whenever you feel like you're nervous or you're having stage fright or anything like that. And then in closing, one of the mentors said that the art of communication is a skill, and it is something that can be nurtured and can be perfected.
Alice, you are shining today, girl. I'm telling you. Wow. Love hearing your voice today. Beautiful. Okay. Number 6. Group number 6.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Mackenzie.
So I'm representing group 6, the superstars. In our session, we spoke about the video, and we discussed the 3 lessons that we all got from the video, which is clarity, persuasion, and inspiration. And we all agreed that in order to be a successful speaker or to communicate effectively, you need to plan in advance, plan your presentation properly in order to help you articulate well what you're saying, because it's important that we all connect with the people that we connect with your audience so that they can be able to understand you better. Another lesson that we all learned is that if you're an emotional person, you don't just react out of emotion, because in that way you won't be communicating, but you just be talking, shouting. You need to plan, calm down, and then come back again to talk about how you felt before everything else. Another thing that we discussed is that in order to improve your communication skills, you need to do more of it. So do not shy away from it. Take small steps. It might be with a small group or a big group like this, but it's the practicing that will help you to become a better speaker. Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic, Kenzo. Thank you so much. That's brilliant. Is that all the groups, right? Okay. I'm now going to hand back over to Boy Puso.
Thank you, Val. Thank you for all the feedback and to see how the mentees have internalized what we discussed in the morning, the role plays and the videos. And I'm so impressed and happy at the same time that they took time to watch the videos, because without watching the videos, what we are discussing sometimes doesn't make sense. Last week's homework was that we need to prepare speeches. Like in ours, some got time to practice. So I think we will have give each other 2 minutes to start with their speeches. And I would like to have one mentee. It's 2 minutes, Naval, under 2 minutes. so that we can make time. I'm going to ask one volunteer, a brave lady, who can start now because we want to hear what she has to say. Any volunteers? Alwani, thank you. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arwani, and the speech that I have prepared is on the law of attraction. It is something that is very close to my heart, and I believe that it is something that we all must know. The law of attraction is the belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into our personal lives. We have fears. We think that we are not good enough at times, and that life situations can be bad. At times, we also get demotivated because of what is happening in our surrounding. But I'm here to tell you today that it is important for you to speak good things unto your life, to say good things about yourself. There are 4 steps that you can put in place. The first step is that you need to truly know what you want, because with the law of attraction, you actually attract that which you say with your tongue. So it is important to never ever say anything negative about yourself. The second key is that when you know what you truly want, it's easier for you to actually say that which you want, and then you get to attract that. Secondly, be intentional with communication. In other words, once you know what you truly want, then when you speak that which you know that you are going to attract it back unto you. And then imagination is key. So we first attract that which we think. So it's you first put it in your mind, and then you think about it, and then it comes to life once you have thought about it. Visualization, it's also another key. It's similar to imagination. And then lastly, accountability is also key. That if you see that negative things are actually happening into your life, you get to acknowledge that and say, okay, I have thought about this before, and you get to see it. And then so yeah, I'm here to tell you today that first see the good that is in you. That way people will also be able to see that good. It all starts in the mind, and then it gets manifested in the future. So it is important to never say the word I am a failure, I cannot do this, because those words describe you. That is what will actually happen unto your life. Make it a daily routine to always say that I am smart, I am beautiful, I am kind, and say those good things, because that way, by you saying those affirmations, they will live in you and they will manifest. Thank you.
Thank you, Adwari. Can we have another one?
Can I go?
Yes, please.
I will be talking about leadership. The title of my message is Lead a Life Worthy of Your Calling. We're all looking for the meaning or purpose behind our lives. We want to wake up every morning ready to tackle our calling with love and joy. We want to go to bed each night knowing that we have done enough. We all want to feel fulfilled. But what if I told you that the secret to living a life worthy of your calling is leading a life worthy of your calling? Leadership in the context of our calling is about taking practical steps to fulfill that calling. It's about influencing and persuading ourselves to execute our missions. Leading a life worthy of our calling requires us to first understand what our calling is. As we say here at Girls for Girls, find your mission. But the key to executing our calling or our mission is realizing its worth. As an investor cannot invest in an organization they don't see value in, we also cannot invest in our calling or in our mission unless we see its worth. Leadership to our calling is not just about reaching the destination through leadership, which is the essence of my message, but also continuing daily in leadership, even after reaching the destination. For leadership doesn't end, it's a continual cause of excellence. While at it, let's also not forget to walk and lead in love, for leadership is not selfish, nor is love. The truth is, our calling or our missions have a lot to do with impacting others and changing the world. But how are we going to live out our worthy calling if we don't have love for the world and others? The key take home is this: we have a calling, we have a purpose, we have a mission that is so worthy and so valuable. It's worth every cent of investment. It holds our meaning, it holds our joy and leadership. And leadership is a must for its excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Kansani. Can we have another one? Ladies.
Can I go? Okay.
Okay, who's the next one? Who's going to come after Tulisile? I didn't see.
Alice.
Alice, okay. Once Tulisile is done, Alice, please present.
Okay. Hi, ladies. My speech is about family because that's what I care about the most. The value of family is priceless. For me, family is all about relationships. And to me, a relationship is about love and affection, giving and receiving, respect and understanding, learning and helping, sharing and feeling, trusting and confiding, and lastly, gratitude. Family is about giving and receiving moral support in times of challenge. It is about sharing a joy which has no meaning in solitude. Sometimes we have family feuds for various reasons, but we should always keep in mind that life is way too short. So while you still have time, show your family how much you love them, show them how much you care. And before I end this speech, I'd like you to reflect on this quotation, that family is not an important thing, but instead it is everything. Thank you.
Alice?
So my speech encompasses very controversial issues, if I might say, that I'm passionate about with regards to advocacy and advocating against them. So it speaks to xenophobia, it speaks to femicide, gender-based violence, and it speaks to racism. To be Black, to be woman, to be foreign. In a country such as America, I wonder why I'll be killed first. Will I be woman, I'll be killed for being Black, or will I be killed for being Zimbabwean in South Africa? Whether I'll be raped, mutilated, and dumped in a river only for decomposing bodies to be discovered by children playing near the bank of that river, or whether I'll be forcefully put into a coffin, dehumanized, and buried alive on a white farm, or will I be torched alive, washed by an entire community of supposedly fed African brothers and sisters, all this while I burn alive and told to go back where I come from. On any given day, I could be catcalled or slut-shamed while walking down the street, and in the same breath get told that my natural 4C hair is inappropriate for professional spaces, and then misnamed for a foreigner, in South Africa, on African soil. These are the realities in our country: gender-based violence, femicide, racism, and xenophobia. In the past year, September, right after Unene's death, we saw a rise in gender-based violence, rape culture, and in the past month, gender-based violence and rape culture has come to light. The same pattern continues. Statistics say that 25% to 40% of women have experienced gender-based violence in their lifetime. Institutionalized racism is rife, subtle, yet very present in universities, in workspaces, on social media. Around the same time as Unene's death, we saw another genocide occurring concurrently of foreign nationals, businesses being looted, immigrants being tortured alive. This may have quietened down. However, xenophobia, just like racism, yet subtle, is still heavily present in society. Where are we as a society going wrong? Where are we as a country going wrong? This is my question.
Well said, Alice. Thank you very much. Who's coming after Alice?
Can I go next, please?
Yes, yes. Is that Lisedi?
Yes.
Yes, Lisedi.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisedi. My poem, it's a poem, is about the harsh realities women face in our society. Okay, I'm starting. I'm a bit nervous, so okay. Don't wear too short dresses or something too revealing because the guys will be distracted. Don't get drunk at a party or they will rape you, and it will be your fault because you asked for it. You provoked him. Put up a facade because no one likes a drama queen. Hold the tears in your sad little eyes because negative feelings show weakness. Don't walk with confidence because women will never be equal to men. Don't eat fast foods, otherwise you will gain weight and no man likes a pig. Beauty in sex is all that we are. Don't say no or he will shove harder. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just pleasure, right? Don't talk about yourself because that is self-centered. Don't even speak because what you say goes in one ear and out the other. Cook for me, clean up the house for me, they say, because you aren't royalty. You are nothing but a slave, and that's all you'll ever be. You thought you could become anything more? How pathetic. Dress up because he doesn't want you to embarrass him at this gathering. No matter how smart you are, you will never be as smart as him. And your opinion doesn't matter because he will never take it into account. Thank you.
Wow.
Well done.
Thank you, Lisedi. So I'm just going to give chance to two mentors just to say something about all the speeches that we have had. Zainab, it looks like you want to say something.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, I think today's session probably blew everyone away. It is, it's so difficult to say which session is your favorite, but the art of communication is so important in all aspects of our life. It's not just limited to public speaking. It's our interactions, our daily interactions with people, with our family, with our loved ones. And I think the way in which the girls, or the mentees rather, articulated their views and their discussions, you could see that there was so much of preparation that went into it. So I really want to commend them for that and say well done. And thank you because, for us to set out or set aside time every second week, it's not always easy, but this just makes it so much more worth it when we know that there is some impact in someone's life. So I just wanted to say well done to all of the mentees that participated today. Really, really well prepared speeches from their side.
Okay. Tolo, do you want to say something about the speeches?
I am just in such awe of all the social, injustices that they're making note of, and they're not just speaking about it, but they actually have a call to action. So that courageous leadership element, they're already practicing it. And I must say, I mean, I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Well done, ladies. You're on the right path.
Thank you. Nyasha, you say you want to go and do your speech?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Nyasha.
Hi.
So we were asked to write and present a speech on something you care about. I thought this was going to be a walk in the park, but for some reason it proved to be a challenge as the days went by. I mean, it seems like a very easy topic. You can care about your parents, family, and friends, even yourself. But what do I care about? I care about the high levels of corruption in Africa, the unorthodox ways people run organizations and even countries. Because in the long run, it affects a lot of innocent people. I'm pretty sure we all know female leaders are more effective and efficient than male leaders. This is actual research, I kid you not. Female leaders are more transformational than male leaders. They function as a role model for their subordinates. They inspire their team and spend a lot of time coaching their team. They care a lot about their personal development. Women leaders emphasize teamwork and authentic communication as a key to success. I want to make ethics the core mandate for institutions. Yes, profits are great, but believe it or not everything is about money. I understand that this might not completely eradicate the level of corruption in all institutions, the country, let alone the continent of Africa, but it is a starting point. Women are viewed as strong, caring, and giving. I would like to quote what Iyanla van Zyl said about strong women. It's not a good thing. It's inauthentic, always putting other people before you. She said it is self-full to put yourself first. Take care of you, obviously still regarding everything and everyone. Your cup runneth over. What comes out of the cup is for everyone else. What's in the cup is for you. So in conclusion, in your giving and caring, always remember to put yourself first. Be self-full. Thank you.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Nyasha. Can we have 3 more before we can get a mentor to say something?
Can I go?
Yes, please. Is that
Hi,
Riabetswe?
Yes.
Yes. Shout out to Riabetswe from Kuruman.
Thank you. Hi. My speech today is about the value of time. When Buddha was asked, what is the biggest mistake we make in life? He replied, the biggest mistake we think we have time. I remember I was sitting with my grandmother under a tree one day. I looked at this amazing woman that had raised me from nothing, and I knew I had to tell her everything that I can't wait to do for her, to show her my gratitude. I spoke of the big house that I wanted to build for her and all the material things that I wanted to get her, things I knew she would appreciate. I asked her of one favor, to live a bit longer, to give us more time. I thought we had time, but she was running out of time. It was through the pain of losing her that I learned the importance of time. It was then that I learned to live in the moment and appreciate the gift of time, because even this very moment shall pass. We are running out of time. What will you do with the time that you have left? Thank you.
Thank you, Riabetswe. Thank you. I'm emotionally touched. You know, all these girls have said beautiful things. Who's after Riabetswe? I can't see.
I go.
Okay, Zikona. Okay, and then somebody who's coming after Zikona?
Mikenzo. She's had her hand up for a while.
Mikenzo. Okay, so then it's Zikona, then Mikenzo, and then we can have a mentor say something.
Hi, ladies.
So the speech I made is called The Petals to Life. First is inner peace. When I am at peace, I am sure to attract positive vibes and in turn spread those positive vibes. Human rights and justice are petals that make this thing called life a beautiful flower. And so, the color of our skin should not be a barrier that hardens our hearts in seeing the greatness that lies in each of us. After all, if we are so different, we would not have the same color of blood. Therefore, we all deserve equality in justice law and economic advances. And so with that said, family and values should always come first, because family are those people that when life knocks you down, values and they come through you and ensure that your internal pride is undisturbed and that the positivity you have will always impact those around you positively. And so I say positive vibes now until forever. Aluta continua.
Aluta continua. Thank you, Zikona. Mikonzo?
Hi, guys. So I want to talk about fear today. There is a lot of definitions surrounding fear. My definition of fear and your definition of fear will not necessarily be the same. The dictionary defines fear as a distressing emotion aroused by impending danger or evil, or simply as the condition of being afraid. We all have fears: fear of heights, the fear of the dark, fear of death, or fear of imperfection. However, I realize that fear immobilizes you. It keeps you from doing the things that you love and enjoying the moments that you live in currently. But fear is not a bad thing. You should all be afraid of something at some point, because that on its own helps you make sound decisions. But what I'm appealing to you ladies today is stop sitting around and nourishing your fears. The reason for that is Dr. Steve said that your fear is 100% dependent on you for its survival. So if you do not feed your fears, there is a less chance of them surviving. We grow fearless by walking straight into our fears. I'm telling you today, attack your fears head on. Want to get that job? Apply. Want to get that bursary? Apply anyway. It's not your choice to decide which things you're going to fear, but it is absolutely your decision to take a step towards them. I challenge you to take a step. Set a goal for yourself. One step at a time, you will overcome your fears. Compare the goal to the fear. Which one is more important? Obviously, it's the goal, and you won't get that if you are fearless. I appeal to you to take a stand against your fears. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't fear anything. Obviously, fears are part of life. But what's more important is the choices you make today. I tell you today, fear is nothing compared to what you have waiting on the other side. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now we know we are heating up. Who's next? Who's next? Let's not lose the momentum. Fortunately, do you want to say something?
I'm scared, but okay. I wrote a poem because I don't like speeches. My poem is called "I Am a Woman." Okay, here I start. I am a woman, a powerful being full of capabilities, potential, and so much worth. Pregnant with ideas that need to be manifested. I am a woman. My aura is irresistible, drawing all people near. Women, men, children, all to see my beauty. I bring change to those around me. I am a woman. My body is able to create, store, and sustain life. My body is a manifestation of the spiritual to the physical. I am a woman, imperfectly perfect, an art in human form, created by the Most High God. He must have had great ideas when he created me. I am a woman. I'm clothed with strength, dignity, courage, and self-love. I am a woman, a warrior, fighting through hardships and adversities meant to crush my spirit, but I still rise. I am a woman, an intellectual, having a sharp mind that brings questions that are thought-provoking, bringing solutions to the problems around me. I am a woman. My femininity and aura exudes softness, delicacy, and so much mystery. I am a woman. I am phenomenal and majestic. I am a divine representation of God, a goddess in the flesh. Thank you.
Yay! You got over your fear. Thank you. Nabila, do you want to say something to those who have just gave their speeches?
Yeah, I think I echoed it in the sessions, in the circles, but I just wanted to say to all of the girls who fear that they fear what they fear to say something because they feel like they don't have anything worthy to say, or they feel that nobody will understand them. Listening to all of you have valuable things to say that the world needs to hear. And so the next time you find yourself asking, I'm so scared to say something, do I have anything valuable to say? Get the thought out of your head, because each and every one of you have so much value to add to the world, and the world is waiting.
Thank you, Nabila. Mashudu?
Sorry, I was on mute. What I can say to the ladies, be intentional about speaking. Be intentional about public speaking. Find people who are supportive. Find communities that are supportive, like it was highly and properly articulated in the videos. Be intentional, ladies. I mean, this is the perfect platform to be intentional about public speaking. Practice, 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 practice. That's all I can say to the mentees. Thank you, Wipuso.
Thank you, Mashudu. Nikita or Valerie?
I just wanted to say that, just to quickly go back to the principles. I think what I've loved about every single speech this afternoon is every single one of you had a call to action. But some of the ones that really stood out to me were the ones where there was that little bit of telling your story. And I'm not saying this because they're authentic diamonds. I'm not prejudiced, I promise you. I promise you I'm not. But the two that for me are Ria and Fortunate, because they both shared a little bit about who they are. And the other girls did as well. And I guess just remember, those are the 4 points that are so important. The call to, the knowing your audience, which I think you've all done extremely well. You've all spoken, you've spoken to the heart, and you know who you're speaking to, so you've connected with us also well. Secondly, knowing your why. I mean, I can really hear that you girls know what's behind what you thought about, what you want to say. You put a lot of, thinking in behind it, which is absolutely amazing. And then telling a little bit of your story, that's the one that gets to the heart. That's when you feel that connection. And then, of course, the call to action, which you've all done so beautifully. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks for Prism. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you. Thank you. We're putting context to what we have learned. Nikita, you wanted to go?
Yes, thank you. Here goes. There is so much one can do with their voice besides singing. I am here today to represent to you voice artistry, also known as voiceover artistry. Voiceovers is a production technique where a voice that is not part of the narrative is used in a radio, television production, filmmaking, theater, or other presentation. The voiceover is read from a script, and we may not necessarily see the person. I came across the South African Voiceover Academy, also known as SAVOA, which is a training facility in South Africa which offers an in-depth analysis into the art and technique of voiceover. To my surprise, when I opened the website, I came across a free online bootcamp workshop that runs every week on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. I then took the time to sign up for the session, and I must say it was a good call because I learned so much more. I learned so much about the voiceover artistry. I learned that there are prerequisites into the voice artistry industry, namely having a clear voice, number two, having an accent and being able to neutralize that accent when speaking. Number three, being able to read well. You can be able to read well by reading about 80 words in 30 seconds and being able to do voice modulation. And you may be asking yourself, what is this voice modulation that she is talking about? Voice modulation is when you can control or adjust your voice. Basically, it means that using your voice and tone to communicate your message more effectively. For more information, you can go to www.savoa.co.za. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikita. Anybody left who hasn't gone? Yeah, mentors, can you help me identify? I'm not seeing hands. Going once, twice, thrice, gone. Rita, do you want to say anything about those the presentations that we have had?
Yeah, I actually, it's going to be awkward. I'm not going to talk about communication. I'm going to talk about leadership. To all of those that have spoken, whether it's, in the bigger group or whether it's in the circles, well done. So remember, a lot of us have expressed this challenge with speaking, in public. And so for those of you, I'm looking at Fortunate. I think she's one of the last people that spoke and said, thank you, she's conquering her fear. Believe me, this is a sign of leadership. So when you start addressing and doing things that you're not comfortable with, you're stepping into the leadership space. So for me, the success, the hearing of your voices, that's the one indicator we look for in this session. For us to hear all your wonderful voices. Yes, some were telling us from a different space than others were articulating differently. Some challenged us. There's someone who read out a poem that everything was negative, but really made us think in a different way. For each of you to be able to be willing to share that with us, we say thank you. And I want you to all go home tonight. As long as you've spoken today, just know you're starting onto that space of leadership, and let it continue. What is so interesting for me is that you've already leapt to session number 5. You've started identifying the agendas that you want to address. I heard GBV. I heard xenophobia. I heard discrimination based on sexuality. You're already there. You're beginning to define what it is that you want to go after. And now, today, you have the skill to communicate effectively, to be clear, to be persuasive, and to be inspirational. So keep practicing with your circles, with your family, with friends that you believe are safe spaces, because this is setting you off on your path to leadership. So well done. And thank you so much for being brave enough to share with us. Thanks a million.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We are running out of time. I'm just going to ask Andrita she has the posters whilst she's trying to put them together. I have 2 books that I would want to share with 2 mentees. So I'm going to ask, you are going to vote for yourselves to say who deserves to get the 2 books. Like, I need 2 mentees from all the speeches that we have had. Who touched you? Who persuaded you? Who was, clear in the message, and who left you with food for thought?
Okay. So should I show the posters now?
Yes.
Okay, what do you want with the posters? Are they also going to select someone who they like, a poster they like?
Yeah, because it's 2 books, maybe we can say one for the poster and then one for a speech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is poster number 1. And that is by Mikenzo, who is with the Superstars. Okay. Poster number 2. This is by Zikona from Superstars.
Wow, Superstars.
And this is poster number 3 by Nikita from Female Prodigies.
Wow.
I'll go through them again. This is poster number 3. Poster number 2. Poster number 1. And we shall share this on the WhatsApp group so that you can take a look. Yeah? Is that good?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Can I make your life easy? Only for the posters, because we only have 3 posters. We're not going to vote for one, but all 3 are going to get a book.
Wow.
I had one for the next session, but I'll see what to do. So all 3, thank you very much for your effort and for the message.
Yeah, that's so good.
Thank you. So who are we voting as the speech that talked to us, that touched us? Not to say the others didn't, but as a way of encouraging us, I think we also have to have some kind of this. I don't want to call it competition, but it's just a way of encouragement. So who are we going with? Violet?
Can I suggest
Yes.
some? Can
Yes,
we
Violet?
do a poll so that, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Can we do a poll instead of maybe shouting names here?
Is it possible, Rita?
I'm actually trying to do it as I speak. I hope I'm going to get it done. Okay. This is who? This is what? Best speech, right?
Yes.
Normally, I have to do it before.
Oh, okay.
But I'm doing it. Let's see if it will run. But I remember the poll has to give me options. So I'll need someone to call out.
Ooh, we have so many.
Yeah, but so the person, what you do, at least someone has to be nominated. The nomination will be in the chat box. Then let Boipuso read out to me who they are, because I can't see you guys now. I can't.
Okay.
So I need.
All right.
What's answer number 1?
Fortunate. Mikenzo.
No, please
Lesedi.
Please.
Oh, okay.
Mikenzo. Okay. Next.
Lesedi.
Vani.
Sorry?
Alwani.
Alwani.
Alice.
Alice.
Kensani.
Kensani.
Did you get Lesedi?
I have so far. I have Fortunate, Mikenzo, Lesedi, Alwani, Alice, and Kensani.
Zikona.
Tulisile.
Sorry, who is reading? Zikona and then Boipuso?
Yes, it says Zikona. I don't know. Somebody shouted the name. I don't know. Or Tuli.
Okay, Tuli.
Yeah, Safura wrote Tuli.
Okay.
Mentors, nominate your circle girls.
I can only go up to 10, okay? So I'm at 8 now. I have Fortunate, Mikenzo, Lesedi, Aluwani, Alice, Kensani, Zikona, Tuli,
Ria and Nyasha.
And Nyasha. Okay, I have
yes.
and Nyasha.
You have Ria?
Yes, I have Ria and Yasha, and those are the 10.
Okay,
So
yes.
now I'm saving. I'm hoping that I can run the poll. Okay. Okay, there you go. You can vote. Val, can you see the votes? Don't close it, please. Whoa, this is a tie. Yeah? Look at that. Okay, Kensani. Has everyone voted? Okay, I see Fortunate and Kensani both have 4. Okay, Kensani has 5. So Kensani is leading at 5. Has everyone voted? Wow, this is so split. Okay. Okay, so I can close now? We've all voted, right? Okay, so Kensani takes it. Yeah? Okay.
Wow. Thank you.
So we learned something new today. You can actually launch a poll in the middle of the session. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And everybody is a winner, but in the real world, if there are 1,000 applications and they only need 1, you have to give it your all to be that 1. And that's your story to tell next time, to say, out of the 1,000, I managed to persuade them. I inspired them that I got that position. And I hope we will continue learning, we will continue interacting, and we have seen how important it is to use our villages in things like this. You are not alone. Some of you in your courses, you will be expected to do some presentations. So you already have an advantage because you know what to do. So thank you very much for that. And
the homework, Professor?
Yes, I was going there, Valerie, to say the next session that we are going to have is negotiation, and we are going to advocating for yourself and for others. And the homework, I have the mentors, I'm not sure the mentees what page it is, but our homework says you need to read about negotiations and having difficult conversations. And I think one of the role plays that we had here, I think especially the last one, it was a bit difficult because both of them, you know, they were emotional and what. So you need to go and think about conversations like that to say, if you are a leader and you find yourself in that difficult situations, what options do you have? What do you think you can do to make sure that you achieve what you want to achieve? So also we will be sending the video that talks about negotiations. Think of the homework, and also you will listen to the guest speaker, and then in the next session we will be able to discuss all that.
And
anything outstanding?
When you think about the negotiations, each of you, we are challenging each of you to think about a difficult negotiation that you've faced, because we want it to be a real session next round. So you're going to see on the small WhatsApp circles, we are going to be asking you to tell us about difficult negotiation situations, so that we can then address that in the session that we're going to be covering next time round.
Okay.
And the feedback forms, Boypuso, please.
Yes, we will be sending feedback forms, and thank you very much for your speedy response all the time when we ask for feedback, and then you respond, and we really appreciate it. I do have, Valerie, a song that we will close with. It's in relation to GBV. It's from Loyiso. It says, Madoda Sabelani. She's just saying, gentlemen, men, you know, listen, our women stop it. You need to stop this violence against our women. Until we meet again next time, there we go.
Bye-bye.
Bye.